Thragg. The intergalactic silver fox of doom. He's like if Superman had a midlife crisis, joined a space gym, and decided that diplomacy was for weaklings. He's a Viltrumite, a race of ultra-jacked aliens with a superiority complex the size of Jupiter. And not just any Viltrumite, oh no, he's their leader, their king, their crown jewel of carnage. Let's just say if you gave a sentient protein shake a PhD in murder, you'd get Thragg. This guy looks at peaceful civilizations and goes, neat place you got here. Be a shame if someone subjugated it violently. His parenting style? Throw your half-human kids into death matches. His hobbies? Genocide, betrayal, growing the angriest mustache in the universe. He dismembered Oliver Grayson's arm, breaking his jaw and nearly killing him. He even sarcastically remarks he seemed like a nice boy. After Viltrum's destruction, he goes into a rage and decapitates Thetis, and then crushes his head, stating that he will not be missed. He sends his army to attack Taliscria, causing an all-out war on the planet. Thragg doesn't just cross moral lines, he builds an interstellar highway over them and charges tolls. Basically, he's what happens when peak physical fitness meets absolute moral bankruptcy. But hey, at least he's consistent. Evil, but consistent. Chucky. Chucky is what happens when you mix a doll, a serial killer, and the worst customer service return policy imaginable. He's a tiny red-headed menace in overalls who looks like he should be saying, "Let's play Tea Party," but instead says things like, "Wanna play with knives?" His real name is Charles Lee Ray, also known as the Lakeshore Strangler. He is the titular main antagonist of Don Mancini's Child's Play franchise. Well, you see, Chucky wasn't just born a bad doll, no. He used to be a serial killer with a very enthusiastic interest in voodoo. When the cops cornered him, instead of, say, accepting responsibility like a normal murderer, he did the sensible thing and transferred his soul into the nearest children's toy. From there, it was all downhill. He just wanted a new body, preferably human, a little revenge, and maybe a few stabbings along the way. He only became evil due to his sadistic desire to hurt and kill others, as shown when his father was killed by the Hackensack slasher, and decided to become just like him because he was inspired by the killer's actions. Honestly, if he'd just focused on Etsy crafts and not murder, Chucky could have been the face of a quirky vintage toy business. Instead, he chose mayhem and became the most terrifying toy since Tickle Me Elmo ran out of batteries mid-lap. Kamen Rider Dark Kiva. Kamen Rider Dark Kiva is the original king of the Fangers from Kamen Rider Kiva, serving as the main antagonist of the 1986 section of the series. Imagine a vampire monarch with a flair for the dramatic and a penchant for genocide. He didn't just want to rule the Fangers, he aimed to wipe out entire races like the Wolfen, Merman, and Franken. Talk about overachieving. When he found out his wife, Maya, was playing footsie with a human named Otoya, did he take the high road? Nope. He tried to force her to kill her lover. When that didn't work, he decided to turn the surviving members of the races he hadn't yet exterminated into living weapons. And for his next trick, he captured Otoya, chained him up, and painfully drained his life energy. He also sealed Jiro into the Gurulu saber when he interfered with his attempt to execute Otoya. Even his own minions couldn't stand him. His loyal servant, Bishop, was so disgusted by his actions that he ended up helping Otoya take him down. When your right-hand man thinks you've gone too far, you know you're the baddest of the bad. Dark Kiva isn't just evil. He's the whole evil enchilada with a side of malevolence. King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah is the main antagonist of the Showa Godzilla movies, first appearing in the 1964 film Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. He is basically the golden dragon equivalent of that one cousin who shows up uninvited, eats all your snacks, sets your house on fire, and then flies off like nothing happened. He is a giant golden three-headed extraterrestrial dragon kaiju who travels from planet to planet, destroying them and their entire life populations before setting his sights on the Earth. He would then become the ultimate weapon of various alien races, including the Xiliens, and Nebula space hunters, the Garogas, and the Kilaks. He's evil mostly because he can be. He's from space, which already makes him sketchy. And instead of using his cosmic powers for good, like helping alien puppies or writing poetry, he chooses mayhem. His hobbies include yelling at Godzilla, electrocuting cities for fun, and being a general drama queen with lightning breath. Honestly, if chaotic evil were a job title, Ghidorah would already be regional manager. He shows cruelty and hatred towards all living beings that he encounters, human or not, even when they pose no threat to him, and he just maliciously slaughters them simply for pleasure rather than just mere hunger, self-defense, or a desire to survive. Bullseye. The guy who turns everyday objects into deadly weapons like he's auditioning for America's Got Murdered talent. He's basically what happens when someone takes Dart Champion way too seriously and decides, you know what? I'm gonna ruin people's lives with this. This man doesn't miss. Ever. Seriously, if he throws a paperclip at you from across the street while riding a unicycle in a thunderstorm, you're toast. He once killed someone with a peanut. A peanut. That's not a villain. That's a food allergy personified. As for why he's evil, honestly, I think someone just beat him at Connect 4 when he was a kid and he never recovered. Instead of going to therapy, he went straight to professional assassin on LinkedIn. And his entire personality is just spite. Like if pettiness grew legs and got a sponsorship from throwing knives. Plus, he's obsessed with Daredevil. Not in a wow, I admire your work way, more like I'm gonna rearrange your face because you bruised my ego one time kind of way. It's like watching a jealous ex try to win a breakup using shurikens. Bullseye is evil because he's talented, bitter, and emotionally constipated. Also because it's way easier to be a supervillain than to take up yoga and chill. Kenjaku. Kenjaku is basically Jujutsu Kaisen's version of that one friend who can't just chill. He's gotta possess people, make weird plans spanning centuries, and ruin everyone's lives just because he thinks it's fun. He is also known as Suguru Geto or Shudo Geto, and formerly known as Noritoshi Kamo and Kori Itadori, is one of the two main antagonists of the manga and anime series Jujutsu Kaisen. This guy literally body-hopped into Suguru Geto, a fan-favorite character, like he was picking an outfit from the back of his closet. What should I wear today? Oh, tragic sorcerer with emotional baggage. Yes, please. He is a ruthless and manipulative sorcerer dating back to 1,000 years. Kenjaku had been surviving throughout millennia by implanting his brain into various hosts using his innate technique and stealing their cursed techniques. At this point, he's less of a person and more of an ancient chaos subscription service, new drama delivered weekly. He treats human lives like chess pieces, thinks curses are neat little pets, and orchestrated an entire murder Olympics in Shibuya for science, or vibes, or boredom, probably all three. He also started the culling games and got millions of people killed. If Kenjaku had a LinkedIn, it would just say Professional Menace. Endorsed by nobody. Locked by everyone. Muzan Kibutsuji. Muzan Kibutsuji, also known as the Demon King, is the main antagonist of the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba franchise. Imagine if Michael Jackson moonwalked straight into villainy and never looked back. This guy is the big bad of Demon Slayer, the original demon, the first one to ever say, you know what would make immortality better? Ruining everyone else's life along the way. He was originally a human who suffered from a terminal illness. During an experimental treatment, Muzan became the first ever demon. He's got the whole, I'm too beautiful to be this evil energy. But don't be fooled, he's the supernatural equivalent of someone who cuts in line and blames you for it. Muzan turns people into demons like it's Oprah's giveaway show. You get a blood curse, you get uncontrollable hunger. Everyone gets trauma, all because he's allergic to sunlight and apparently to minding his own business. He has a god complex, but also the emotional stability of a cat that didn't get fed on time. Every time someone disappoints him, boom, decapitated, or exploded, or turned into chunky salsa. This man doesn't believe in constructive criticism. He believes in overreaction. He's dramatic, petty, and couldn't take a therapist appointment even if his life depended on it. Which, ironically, it kind of does. Gluskin. Oh boy, where do we even start with this guy? Imagine if a Victorian poet, a deranged butcher, and a wedding planner had a very unfortunate baby, and then dropped him on his head repeatedly while whispering sweet nothings about eternal love and bone saws. That's Eddie. He is referred to as the Groom, the secondary antagonist of the whistleblower DLC for the 2013 survival horror game Outlast. He's a charmer who just wants to get married. A hopeless romantic, really. Except his idea of courtship involves abduction, chains, and unsolicited DIY surgeries. Romantic dinners? Nah, more like romantic dismemberment. He thinks flowers are overrated and prefers decorating with intestines. A real trendsetter. He is obsessed with making a bride for himself by kidnapping and turning men into women through surgical mutilation. Gluskin chooses protagonist Wayland Park as his next attempt when he's forced to travel through Gluskin's territory. Now, why is he evil? Well, if your definition of evil includes lovingly crafting bridal gowns out of human flesh and insisting everyone play Here Comes the Bride on loop while he hunts you down with a buzzsaw, then yeah, Eddie checks all the boxes. He's basically a Hallmark movie villain directed by Quentin Tarantino, but in his mind, he's just looking for the one. Too bad the one keeps screaming and running away. Hey everyone, thank you all for watching until the end. I'll be back with more videos, so make sure to like and subscribe.